Morning, everyone. This is Mitchell here on my YouTube channel. It's good to see you guys again. Happy Hump Day, and tomorrow is the first NFL game since Super Bowl 55. That's actually a legitimate game, and I would appreciate it if you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel, and commented. Will be the first week of me predicting every single week, every NFL game. With preseason being over, we are on the regular season. Couldn't be more excited about it. The first one, we have the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady and company will be opening up after winning Super Bowl 55. They beat my Packers to make after the NFC Championship game, but they won the Super Bowl. That's their game where they host it. That's where the home teams can be tough, or they have the Super Bowl kind of bust. Super Bowl kind of flora where they're not playing as well as they think. But I think Tampa Bay will be back this year. Brady will fire up on all cylinders, at least in the second half. Dallas will keep it under control until I say the mid-third quarter, and I'll take the Buccaneers to win this one by 10. So then Sunday on the 12th, Deshaun Watson is gone from Houston, and Trevor Lawrence is making his first debut again with the Jaguars that day, and that's going to be definitely an underrated noon game to keep an eye on. And I think Trevor Lawrence will go 1-0 in this game because Houston did not have a good year last year, and I don't think they'll have a good year again this year. So 1-0, I'm going with a big upset here. Next, we had the Chargers versus the Washington football team. I think they're going to get their name changed this year, and on the rumors I'm hearing, but the Washington football team will be hosting them. And the Washington football team nearly beat Tampa Bay last year in that wild card classic. I watched the second half of that game, and they really kept with it. They could have beaten them, and they had a very good year for being the NFC East champs, and they'll be back this year. And I think their defense is going to make it very tough on all the teams that they play this year, and I think their defense will make it tough enough on the Chargers, and they'll get this one done even the quarterback changes, everything else. I think they're going to start 1-0. Even though the Chargers could be a little bit back, they'll start 1-0 at home. Next, we have Seattle at Carson Wentz and the Colts. I think Seattle's way too good to lose to the Colts, even though the Colts have came back on the Packers before, came far from behind last November when they played us. I think they made it too far as a team to go 0-1 in this one, so we'll take the Seahawks. Next, we have the Jets against the Panthers. Sam Darnold will be playing his former team at home, and the Jets are going with a new quarterback. They drafted their third pick, Zach Wilson, out of BYU. He's supposed to be a very good prospect for them, and I think this is a very intriguing matchup that they're playing against their former quarterback, and I think there could be a lot of leadaways throughout this entire game. But I think with Carolina getting Darnold, I don't think they'll be as consistent, at least for this one. So Zach Wilson will get hit. So we will have two rookies so far with two victories, and the Jets will be 1-0. So we got two rookies being 1-0 for my predictions. Next, we had the Vikings at Bengals with the Joe Burrow show coming back, and the Vikings I believe have Kirk Cousins back, and I think the Bengals will be too much for them though, and the Bengals are going to be a lot better than last year. And I think they're going to be consistent enough where they can beat the Vikings and pull out a very slight upset. I know I've been picking a lot of upsets so far, but it's kind of early to say what can happen. But I think with the Bengals being back, and Kirk Cousins is back this year. I just had to look it up for just a minute. So, excuse me on that one. But I'll go with Joe Burrow 1-0 to be 1-0 that time. Next, we have the Cardinals at Titans. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals in one of Larry Fitzgerald's last seasons to pull it out against Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Ryan Tannehill is my fantasy football backup this year, which I think is a very good backup, along with Russell Wilson in case the stuff happens to him. I think he'll be a good enough backup, and I think Tennessee. I think Tennessee could really pull. I think Tennessee will give the Cardinals a really good game. But I think with the Cardinals having a lot more with having a lot more than last year, and they developed very well in the draft. I think they'll beat Tennessee in this very, very tough game for the NFC AFC matchup. Next, we had the 49ers at the Lions. I will take the 49ers to go 1-0 this time. Trey Lance is this will be a third rookie going 1-0 in week 1. Imagine if it happened and I predicted all of them right. But I'm easily thinking that the Lions are gonna at least. I don't think the Lions will be definitely this consistent in their first game with Jared Goff as the quarterback. It's their first year since 2010 without Matthew Stafford, and there's going to be a lot of big changes that they're going to have to make through on out for the year and further on down the road. Next, we had the Steelers at Bills. This is a potential AFC Championship matchup. Big Ben will be back against Josh Allen and the Bills, and I think Josh Allen and Buffalo, especially for them being at home, I think they're way too good to lose this game, and for it being a very intriguing matchup, I will take Buffalo to go 1-0, and this will be also another good one to watch. Next, we have the Eagles at Falcons. Matt Ryan and company will be back this year as Jalen Hurts is making his first full starting quarterback here with the Eagles. I think the Falcons will pull this one out though, and Matt Ryan and company will start 1-0 this year, and they have a new coach, and Dan Quinn's gone, and they could have a lot of consistency coming back even without Julio Jones. Next, we had the AFC divisional rematch with the Cleveland Browns and Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and company are back this year. They're supposed to be just as good, maybe not Super Bowl good, but they're supposed to be just as good. And this could be the game where they either shine or Baker Mayfield pulls out a true upset, or they could have pulled it out in January in a very defensive matchup. But this is going to be the matchup that a lot of people are going to watch, because that January matchup in that playoff game was the crazy one to watch when both defenses stayed with it. But I think Kansas City will win by a field goal in this very good game. It'll feel like a playoff game. The atmosphere at Arrowhead is going to be insane. And Kansas City will go 1-0, and Cleveland will have kind of a tough loss, but Cleveland's supposed to be very good this year. They're supposed to be a playoff team yet again, which is incredible for them. Next, we had the Packers playing the New Orleans Saints. This game is moved from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome to Jacksonville, Florida, because of Hurricane Irma, which was very expected. And this is Fox's obviously number one game of the week. And it's the first year since 2005 or 2006 that Drew Brees is not the starter for the New Orleans Saints. Instead, it'll be Jameis Winston getting his first grabs against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers fans will travel very well in Jacksonville, and Winston will not let them slide too fast. He's gonna definitely keep the Saints in the game, and think that's gonna be good till the mid fourth quarter. But I see the Green Bay Packers going 1-0, and I will take my team to get the dubs in this one. And that's a highly anticipated game, so Packers will go 1-0. Next, we have Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos going against the Giants. This is definitely a toss-up this game, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos here. And then I know my phone's ringing. I'll get done in a little bit because I have stuff to do today. But I have the Dolphins and the Patriots. This is Mac Jones' first year, so I think this could be another good one. And Tua and the Dolphins could be more consistent than last year, as he has more experience than his first year. This game I think highly underrated. But I'll go with the home team here. The Patriots will open up at Foxborough to win this game here. Next, and then for a Sunday Night Football, this is a really good matchup. The Bears and the Rams, they're both supposed to be like wild card good teams. If the Cardinals win the NFC West, I think the Rams will be one of the wild card teams that are going to be representatives that are going to be in the playoffs. While the Bears have a lot of desperation in this game, I think this matchup's going to be. I think this matchup's gonna be a lot better than what people are gonna expect. And also for the Bears, Justin Fields' first game. So we have 5 rookies starting in this first week, and that's going to make this first week very memorable, especially if a couple, like I predicted, pull it out. And then it's the Rams' first year having Matthew Stafford as their quarterback, even if they are a wild card team in the playoffs, as I mentioned earlier. They could make a lot of noise in the playoffs, whether they're home or away. But I think with Justin Fields having a tad little experience in the regular season for the NFL, I'll take Stafford and the Rams going 1-0, but they'll win it by a field goal. So this game's going to be one of the closest of the day, and the Bears are going to have a lot of desperation, as I said, but the Rams will go 1-0 here. Actually, there used to be a West Coast game usually at 10 o'clock at night for the first Monday night week, but it didn't happen this year, so there's just one game at 7:15 this year. It'll be the Ravens at the Raiders from Las Vegas. It's their first game at Allegiant Stadium with fans. It's going to be that environment is going to be roaring because it's their first game with fans, and how the Raider fans traveled well even when they were in Oakland. The fact that they're going to still be loyal enough in Vegas, I can't imagine how it's going to be over there, and that's going to be cool to hear a crowd watching that one, and that's going to have a lot of normalcy in that one there. So the Ravens have Lamar Jackson back as their quarterback. They have a lot of they could definitely be a top 3 team in the AFC, and the Raiders could be more back this year after barely having a 500 season this last year, and Derek Carr will definitely have his advantage to maybe get something going in this one. And I'm not necessarily going to say it's an upset because they're at home and they're going to be in front of their own fans, but I'm going to take Las Vegas to open up with their fans for the first time ever to go 1-0, and this is going to be a classic matchup to watch these two teams battle, and these two potential playoff teams are in the air. This is going to be a memorable week 1, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I'm working during some of the first games, but it's going to be very memorable to follow what's going to be happening. A lot of these rising stars that could make a lot of history in the league and with their teams. We will really see what happens. So tomorrow's rundown, I'll do college picks for week 2 tomorrow, and then next week I'll do the NFL picks on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll go through a rundown on which days every week I'll do picks. So I'll do that next week on which days I schedule which picks I'm doing. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll see you on my next video, and thanks for watching.